Welcome to this Windows and Computer channel. This is the Tech News Update. We are Monday, December 10th, 2018. And today in our Tech News Update, well, if you have a Windows 8 phone, you might have noticed that since Saturday, it can't connect to the Windows Store, the Microsoft Store, for app updates or anything. A lot of users have been reporting this as Microsoft did say that they would support the phone until July 1st, 2019. So, of course, many people are saying, well, just maybe wait a little bit. Maybe what's happening is that you're just part of the fact that it, has a glitch and they haven't fixed it yet. And, of course, they probably don't have a lot of time devoted to fixing problems with this old device. Huawei, of course, tons of things are happening here in Canada. Huawei, because of the CFO that was arrested, China is really mad, and they're kind of saying that there will be some reprisals against Canada. But a leaked report says that Huawei actually met UK officials, as of course the United States is pushing its allies to try not to use Huawei technology. Well, Huawei said that they would inject $2 billion to fix issues that are plaguing the security and to try to make the UK government happy with its technology deployment and make sure that it's secure. Android 4.0 ice cream sandwich. Well, if you still have a device with this, and there's still about 1% of the people, or less than 1%, are using it. The 7-year-old operating system from Google now has the Google Play services disabled, as now they're trying to push you into something more modern. And you should. You still use an Android 4 and even an Android 5 device. They are dreadfully far from secure, and you need to move on. Well, we learned today that the move of the Microsoft Edge browser to Chromium means that, well, you'll be able to use your favorite extensions from the Google Chrome store in the Microsoft Edge browser, which is kind of interesting. It's really a major change here. And, it's almost every day when we learn things about it, it's surprising. Well, holiday season, according to security researchers, is one of the busy times for bad guys. And they say that you got to be vigilant, you got to be careful. They want to try to steal personal data, passwords. Shopping sites are, of course, sometimes hit by rogue code that might try to steal your personal info and credit cards. Hotels and airports are to be really, really, really used on the public Wi-Fi the least amount possible, or at least not for personal or important stuff. And, it's that time. You got to be careful. A change that's coming. We had Google that talked about it last week. We have now Amazon that says it's actually testing it in the real world. When you actually ask questions to your assistants, you often notice that, there isn't always really an answer or a good answer to anything. Now, Amazon and Google are using AI to filter out some of the community answers to the questions and actually get these answers to actually go onto your device. That means less and less questions will be unanswered as time goes by. Of course, the biggest problem here is to try to get the answers that are real and that are good. A little investigation has started by the FCC as it wants to know if U.S. carriers and internet service providers have lied about the real coverage of their services across rural America. It seems that the coverage maps are not necessarily true. A lot of areas are marked as covered when, in fact, no internet, nor broadband internet, and no phone service is available. So the FCC says it wants to look into this. A study is showing that the number one driver of the enterprise is customer experience rather than security. And that study says you gotta be careful, because it means that more and more of the security is bypassed in order to actually help out and make sure that the customer experience is good, which should be the other way around. Yes, customer service is important, but security should be number one. Well, Apple and Qualcomm, of course, fighting it really, really hard. Now, one of the things that we see is that Qualcomm was able to have older Apple devices blocked in China. So that shows that, the fight is still going on, and that we're wondering where it's going to stop, as, of course, they're fighting it out over patent infringement, apparently 2 patent infringements for Apple. And, of course, the delay in payment and royalties and stuff. It's kind of interesting, and we'll see where that goes. A interesting change this year happened to the rest of the world, and here in North America, and in the US and Canada. And it has to do with European Union laws that came in effect, including the GDPR law. And it actually forced tech companies to abide by stricter rules. And, well, companies, when they decided to actually abide by these rules for Europe, well, at the same time, they said, well, I'm going to do it for the rest of the world. So a lot of the European Union laws this year in technology actually impacted the whole planet. So it's kind of interesting to see that what's happening there. And, there's 2019 will be interesting, including that new copyright law that YouTube is going nuts over because of how complex it might be, actually. And it's going to be an interesting year, of course, as usual in tech. Well, for many years, one of the biggest problems, the biggest headaches we had, and I've been a victim of this, of course, is finding the different charging connectors and cables for your phones. It seems that every device you had a different plug, and there was really no standard. So basically, in 2019, this is going to change. It seems that more and more phones and more devices that are coming out are actually all using one standard, and it's USB-C for charging. And of course, that means we'll be able to use tons of other devices, cables, and chargers with every other device because of this. And this is good news for everybody. And finally, there was a rumor that the next HoloLens set might actually be powered by an ARM processor. And Microsoft has confirmed today that it will be an always connected PC running the Snapdragon 850 chipset, punching more power, but also having better battery life. One of the HoloLens problems that a lot of people were talking about is battery life within the headset. So this is going to be interesting to see. And this was the Tech News Update for Monday, December the 10th, 2018. You enjoy our videos? Please subscribe, give us thumbs up. Thank you for watching our videos.